welcome to my Marvel custom cover collection. If you've watched my Netflix video I did, you'll see that I did an animation. However, I'm not going to do that on this video because there are over 300 covers here and my computer doesn't like it when I have 300 textures, especially when they're like 2K each. I'm not going to go through each and every cover, but I wanted to show off this collection because back in 2021 when WandaVision came out, wherever it is, can you see it? There it is. This is WandaVision. This is the first cover I did. I was collecting Marvel covers at the time, so I made the Disney Plus covers. It's probably my least favourite out of all of them because it was my first one I did, but this is what started all of this. Apologies for this going slow. It's currently, as I said, loading 300 textures. But I started filling in the gaps in the Blu-ray collection. Then I ended up getting commissions for doing the other covers of the Marvel projects. And basically probably about 2/3 of all this were commissioned by different people. And then I ended up filling in the last few gaps. But this is roughly in timeline order for the whole Marvel multiverse. So I'm going to start at the top. Now we have Stan Lee at the start because since Stan Lee and Jack Kirby started it all, I thought it's only right to put Stan Lee first. But yeah, a lot of the covers look like this. I'm not going to go through every single one, but we have stuff like Captain America, Winter Soldier, First Avenger even. This was one of the first ones I did. And we have these classic 60s Marvel covers. Incredible Hulk series. And what I did with this one was, if you look at them all together, do I have it here? Oh yeah. You kind of got the evolution of the Hulk. I tried to get it so he starts morphing, then he's the Hulk. But yeah. I've also done stuff like Men in Black, which isn't technically Marvel, but it's Marvel imprint, so I put it there anyway. But that was a commission. But these white ones here are ones that are still missing. I think there's like Kingsman and basically some like really obscure stuff, some Lego stuff and some animations. But yeah, I'm going to go through slowly the whole Marvel multiverse. This is the newest one I've done, Fantastic Four. Now, if you're in the UK, you've probably noticed that I'm using the old age ratings. The reason why I'm using the old age ratings was because originally this was to match the old Marvel covers. So I didn't want to switch to the 2019 age ratings because otherwise it won't match, and as you can tell, I like everything to match. But yeah, we actually start off in whenever Conan was, which was around, let's see, I have a timeline next to me, rough timeline. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Conan is 1500s. And then we go across to about 1800s, 1700s, 1800s with Tomb of Dracula. Then we go to the 1940s with the various Captain Americas, Agent Carter and X-Men. Then, as I said before, the 60s Marvel stuff. Then we've got the 70s. We've got stuff like Doctor Strange, the original Doctor Strange. And Japanese Spider-Man, Toei Spider-Man. And then we we go across to around the 80s. I think this is the 80s. With the Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man and his amazing friends. And we got the 90s with stuff like X-Men Dark Phoenix. And then we've also got X-Men animated series. But I know of the Spider-Man ones, I ended up doing the artwork on the front. I just traced a screenshot from a episode just to have it HD. That took me ages. Got some obscure stuff like Ultra Force. Got the original David Hasselhoff Nick Fury. If I can get it to rotate, there we go. And we go on to the 2000s, I think. Yeah, stuff like Mutant X. Original Spider-Man. Then we go to, oh look, everyone's favourite, Madame Web. You know, the film where that and that was only a few seconds in the film. Then what was I looking for? I was looking for the original Daredevil. There is. And now we're in the mid to late 2000s of Spider-Man 3. Iron Man. That was one of the first covers I did. And then we get to the 2010s, and now I've got stuff like Kick-Ass. Avengers. We have some Lego stuff. One-shots. Or one shot, as I should say. I made a different cover for that one. I have Amazing Spider-Man. This is the second one. Oh, this is the second one. I should probably change the font on that. That's a bit. Anyway. The Marvel 75. Got the Marvel 75th anniversary. Ant-Man, which was, I think it was the first MCU film I watched, or the first MCU film I think I watched. Wasn't even aware it was Marvel. Stuff like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And Deadpool. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This was the last MCU one I did, Black Panther. Or was it Guardians of the Galaxy 2? It might have been Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I do actually have this one on Blu-ray, so I didn't end up making it until recently. Some stuff like Future Avengers. One of my favourite Marvel shows that isn't MCU, The Gifted. Punisher. This was a very early one I did. I actually made this one in 2018, but I remade it when that's why the back's a bit basic on that one. But yeah, I made this one in 2018, but I ended up redoing a load of my old covers in 2021 when I started releasing them. Thor Ragnarok was one of the last ones I did for the MCU anyway. Venom. I would go back to some of these older ones, but I don't really need to. There's that many. What else we got? Spider-Man, the infamous Spider-Man Lotus. It's one I just did for fun, since it was a Marvel cover, especially Spider-Man. What If was one of the very first ones I made. What else do we have down here? This is mostly sorted into timeline order, and it took me absolutely ages. Venom, this is the newest Venom. I wanted to have a different character on the spine for this one, but I couldn't find any good quality images of the other symbiotes. I think that's what they're called. But I did make that after the trailer came out. A lot of these covers I've made after the trailers have come out. So before the films have actually come out, that's why some of the images might be a little different compared to if I was to do it now. Hawkeye, that's a very early one I did. This one's one of my favourites I've done, Ant-Man. Deadpool, Wolverine. What If Season 3. Then we have futuristic stuff, so we've got, well, before that we've got Thunderbolts, which isn't out yet, as of this recording anyway. I think it's out in a few days actually, but I made this about 4 months ago. Probably longer than that actually. But now we've got the futuristic stuff, like Logan. That was quite an early one. Next Avengers. That one was a bit of a pain because I could not find any decent images. And stuff like Big Hero 6. And if you notice with some of these franchises, if you were to put them all together, a bit like what I shown earlier, they all match. What I wanted for Venom Last Dance was, I can't remember his name, but this character, him. I wanted him and his symbiote on the spine. I don't know, I've forgotten his name. Stephen Graham. He's one of my favourite actors. Then we've got some more behind the scenes stuff. And towards the end, we have some complete collections. So, like, we've got Captain America double feature, X-Men complete series, X-Men trilogy, Spider-Man complete series, the Avengers two-parter. Then we have some 4K collections that I've made. This one I'm really happy with. This one was a render of the Spider-Man suit that I did. I didn't model the Spider-Man suit, but I found the Spider-Man suit online, a really good 3D model of it, so I rendered it. And then, yeah, so the front's his chest and then the back's his back. And the Avengers quadrilogy, I think this one is, yeah. I did the front cover for that one as well. But yeah, that's my Marvel collection. As I said, nearly all of these ones, except for the Disney Plus ones, were commissions. I think nearly all of them were commissions. Now, as I said, I do commissions. I have done about 2,000 covers now. It can be seen on my ArtStation. And I do have a new section on my ArtStation which shows all the Marvel covers. I didn't add that one. But yeah, one Agatha collection I did for someone. But yeah, I've done absolutely loads. And you can view all these on either my ArtStation or my DeviantArt. And I have it, let's see, here, MCU Blu-rays. I've done absolutely loads. But yeah, if you want to buy any of them, they're a PDF document ready to print. I just ask that you don't redistribute them because I spend a lot of time on these. But I also do other covers. Doing these in, I recently sorted these into alphabetical order and it took me ages. But yeah, and if you're interested in action figureheads, I do sculpting. So I have Doctor Who, the different generations of Doctor Who. So I do spin-offs. I mainly do Doctor Who, but I do other stuff like Red Dwarf, Power Rangers, Star Wars. I haven't done many Star Wars, but I can do them. And then I have this folder which has all my sculpts in it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see any more collections that I've done, leave a comment. That I've done Disney, Apple, Amazon, Power Rangers, Toku. Started to do some anime. I've done games. I've done absolute loads over the last 4 years. So yeah, thank you for watching.